If you're looking for videos about the Raiders draft and want to watch the 2025 NFL Draft Live, it's important that you're subscribed with notifications turned on. We'll be broadcasting every selection live over the 3 days, and you'll see the picks here before they appear on TV. This is a guarantee for the Silver and Black Nation. Right now, the team is about to make the 37th pick in the second round. Today, I'll be analyzing the 10 athletes I would like the team to consider for this pick. I ranked these players from 10th to 1st and will explain why I placed each player where I did based on the criteria I used. To prepare for this program, I ran 10 draft simulations this morning using specific tools, and the player mentioned in this video needed to be available at least 50% of the time. I had hoped to include some offensive linemen, maybe an ACHA Ibuka, but these rankings reflect the Raiders' needs and overall team compatibility, taking into account my preference for each athlete. However, I'm not saying one player is better than another. These are just the picks I would make if I were in charge of the Raiders, and all these names are athletes the team has shown some interest in. Let's start with the 10th spot, which is Caleb Johnson, running back from Iowa. It's no secret that the Raiders' running back situation was a mess last season, the worst in the NFL. When we look at Johnson's playing style, measuring 6 feet 0 inches and weighing 225 pounds, he stands out as a strong runner who drives straight ahead and doesn't waste time. He's a solid fit for inside zone runs, and when combined with Raheem Mostert, who has genuine explosive ability, I think this would be a surprisingly effective play for the Raiders. He's a robust back who excels at gaining ground quickly. I ranked him 10th because I'd prefer to take him later than the 37th pick. However, if you're a team that needs a running back, some of them may be selected earlier than expected due to the depth of this class. A situation like last year's offensive line players could happen again. The team scheduled a visit with him among the top 30, showing their interest. He has explosion, good patience, and reliable hands, although he needs to improve his receiving skills. Now, imagine you're sitting in the Raiders' war room, watching the general manager and coach eyeing you. One of them might be chewing gum. Who would you pick for the 37th selection? While you follow the discussion, this is the central question I want you to consider. Soon, there will be a pause for an announcement, so during that time, take a moment to scroll down and share your answer. Moving on to the 9th spot on my list of players I would like the Raiders to select in the second round, I'd pick Siobhan Rebel Jr., a cornerback from East Carolina University. He's also one of my favorites. He dropped a bit on my rankings due to some injuries, but I liked what I saw during the offseason. The early season injury raised some concerns. Standing 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 205 pounds, he could bulk up a little more at the NFL weigh-in. I don't want to make a direct comparison, but the name that comes to mind is Tariq Woolen, an exceptional athlete from a smaller school. There's definitely interest in this type of remarkable athletic talent. The athlete has the capacity to gain some muscle. It's important to note that he's an exceptional athlete from a smaller school, and he managed to attract the attention of a renowned coach. I believe another notable athlete has the qualities that NFL teams value, such as speed and wingspan, traits that align well with that coach's preferences. The ACL injury in September raises some concerns and is likely one of the reasons why he fell on draft boards. He should be ready to play in the first week, assuming there are no setbacks. However, for someone from a smaller school, recognized as a remarkable athlete, but unable to perform at full capacity during testing, this affects his overall evaluation. Still, when you have talent of this caliber, he'll be a player who, if selected in the first round, will certainly show potential. I trust this coaching staff's ability to develop players at the defensive back position, as that has been their track record. Moving on to the next pick, I go with a player who I consider an excellent alternative. Yes, I say my preference would be to select this athlete over some others mentioned, and that's because of familiarity. He's a robust player, and when running, he seems to have the agility of a smaller athlete, which I appreciate because this trait allows him to make a big impact. He had a high number of runs last season and was very effective, especially in clutch moments during the playoffs, where he was heavily used. He's a runner who, when he's in front, is hard to bring down in the final moments of games or in colder temperatures. Facing him presents a greater mental challenge than most might realize. The team had a meeting with him during the evaluation event, and we know of his connection with a renowned coach. With his powerful running style and ability to make inside runs, I can picture him pairing well with another player on the team. This represents a greater mental challenge for the understanding of the team as they met with him during the evaluation event. The connection with the coach is notable, and considering his strong running style and effectiveness in inside runs, I imagine he would integrate well into a partnership with a teammate. He's solid in pass protection, although I'd like to see him improve in that area. Additionally, he has receiving skills. However, there remains the concern that if you're considering picking a running back this early, he must be able to protect the quarterback and catch passes effectively. Moving on to the next player on the list of potential second-round picks, I'll highlight a defender from a prestigious university. The more I analyze this player, the more impressed I am, and I really want to dive deeper into his game tape. With significant height and weight, he stands out as a playmaker, demonstrating a sharp instinct for the ball and the ability to break up passes, evidenced by his pass breakups last season, in addition to a solid number of tackles and interceptions. The team had interactions with him during the evaluation event, but it's his ball skills and exceptional instincts that really stand out. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time. Another aspect I value is seeing a player who shows gradual improvement. When you notice his technique getting better, his footwork becoming more precise, and his football intelligence increasing, it shows in his coverage skills. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, especially considering he competes in a high-level league where he faces exceptional talent. His progress has been remarkable, reflecting positively on the coaching staff, who have several competent coaches. Watching a developing player is something I truly admire. Now, let's look at the next player on the list, a wide receiver from a respected university. It's important to note that the team hasn't yet had an evaluation visit with him, although that could change. They also didn't meet him at the evaluation event, but I know the team is keeping an eye on outside wide receivers, and missing the chance to secure a talent like him could be significant. Let's talk about Jaden Higgins. It's important to observe that, at this moment, the Raiders don't have a visit scheduled with him among their top 30 players, although that could change. They also didn't interact with him during the NFL Combine. However, what I can say is that the team has been looking at wide receivers, and if they miss out on Teroa McMillan at pick 5, I believe Higgins could be a viable option in the second round, specifically at pick 37. I don't see him as a prospect among the top 45, to be honest, but I see this as a position of need. He recorded 87 receptions for nearly 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns, and I think he fits well with what the Raiders want for their quarterback, Geno Smith. The team met with his teammate Jaden Noel and also scheduled a visit among the top 30 with him, not just at the Combine, but because they're actively looking for an ex-receiver. Considering the slow pace in the free agent market, the question arises whether to wait for the draft. Initially, I thought Higgins might fall to the third round, but it's likely he won't be available at pick 68. He seems to be in an uncertain space, where I hesitate to support him at pick 37, but I recognize that he probably won't be available at pick 68. The Raiders definitely need another wide receiver, and his ability to run a complete route tree is a plus for someone like Geno. His ability to climb and catch fade passes is crucial, and he has a high football IQ. Even though we're not fans of Travis Kelce, he has a talent for finding soft spots in zones because of his football intelligence, and this is something Jaden Higgins does excellently. He consistently shows this skill, and I value what he can bring to the team. If you prefer Teroa McMillan, you could go for a less robust version of him in Jaden Higgins at pick 37. I think you could consider Ashton Jenney or Jaden Higgins, or some might suggest they prefer to target Teroa McMillan and explore someone like Quinshot Judkins. Everyone has their preferences in this regard. However, I'm convinced Higgins would be a solid pick for Geno, and if I didn't believe that, he wouldn't be ranked so highly. One might argue it makes more sense to think about players like Teroa McMillan and maybe target someone like Quinshot Judkins, but everyone has their preferences. However, I reiterate that Higgins would be an excellent option alongside Geno, and if I didn't see that as a good fit, he wouldn't be ranked so high. Before diving into the analysis of the top 5 players I'd want the Raiders to focus on with their 37th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, it's important to highlight a significant opportunity. There's a promotion where you can win $50 by participating with 5 on the platform, and all you need to do is access the site. So, if you're watching right now and considering it, think about downloading the app today and using the promo code to secure $50 once you make your first 5-player lineup. Why should you join? Well, this platform stands out as one of the best places to participate in real money sports, with over 10 million members and billions in prizes awarded. It's made daily fantasy sports accessible to everyone. Simply pick more or less on at least 2 players to have the chance to multiply your investment by up to 5 times. You could track your performance throughout the season. If this sounds interesting to you, definitely download the app today and use the code to enjoy this instant bonus after making your first lineup. Whether you're into baseball, basketball, or following the Raiders' long season, there are options available for you. As I'm recording this on a Tuesday, which is when we typically do live broadcasts, there are also special offers like Taco Tuesday. For those who want to follow some basketball games this week, consider this. If Cooper Flag scores just 1 point, you win. Sounds pretty simple, right? That means you just need to test your knowledge and pick more or less on another player, and your earnings will appear if you're successful. Now, let's move on to the next player I want to analyze, who is a cornerback from Kentucky. This athlete is quickly rising in my rankings due to his impressive athleticism. Honestly, I imagine the current administration might not be too thrilled with him, but I also see that they recognize his potential to become something truly exceptional. At 5 feet 11 inches, he's slightly below the ideal size. I prefer to see him add a little more weight, and that might be one of the reasons why he ranks among the less effective corners and tackles that I've observed, which raises some concerns for me. This is a significant reason why I can see them hesitating with him, as he presents considerable responsibility in run defense and seems to avoid tackles, reminiscent of a cornerback who doesn't want to get involved. However, he's an extremely versatile cornerback who I believe is capable of excelling in both man and zone coverage. When considering what the team is looking for, they're after players with notable versatility. If they miss out on acquiring a true safety, I truly believe this cornerback has the potential to play in the nickel or on the outside. With a 4.28-second 40-yard dash and exceptional ball skills, if he can add weight without compromising his explosiveness, the other aspect I value in his game is his ability to cover the entire field. He moves well and shows agility when shadowing receivers. Although there's significant potential, it also involves risks, and I don't intend to downplay the situation with this cornerback. Now, let's move to the 4th spot, and to be honest, this is where I see a clear quality gap in comparison to who I would want the team to select with the 37th pick, a linebacker from UCLA who stands just under 6 feet 7 inches. Although he might be a bit smaller for a linebacker, I often overlook that factor. When you watch his tape, you might initially think he looks a bit smaller, raising doubts about his performance ability, but he's always near the ball. One of the linebackers I admired last year was very well known, and I know the team valued his skills as well. Despite being a superior athlete, he was always close to the ball, and the linebacker from UCLA shows a similar style of play. Last season, he recorded 136 tackles and 4 sacks, and even appeared for the team at the NFL Combine. His instincts are tough to measure. If you watched his combine performance, you might not have been especially impressed with his testing results. However, he remains an overall solid player, averaging 7.5 solo tackles per game last season, the highest average in the FBS since 2020. When thinking of the type of player that makes a strong linebacker, I imagine someone who will make hard tackles, move downfield, and make his presence felt through 4 intense quarters. Combining that type of player with a linebacker from UCLA results in an exceptional duo capable of performing a wide range of tasks. And that's exactly why he occupies the 4th spot on my list. Now, we move on to the 3rd spot, where we have a cornerback who I know the team highly values. He sports a C on his chest, which has its significance. Additionally, the connections with the coaching staff are well known. The team's running back coach spent time at Notre Dame last season. While the cornerback is not a running back, having observed athletes up close for 3 years adds significant value to the organization. He had a visit among the top 30. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a surprising twist that has set the NFL world buzzing, the Las Vegas Raiders are reportedly making a bold move to acquire one of the most iconic tight ends in football history, Travis Kelce. Known for his incredible career with the Kansas City Chiefs, Kelce's name has been synonymous with big plays and championship victories. With a contract extension making him the highest-paid tight end in the NFL, the Raiders' interest in him raises eyebrows and adds intrigue to the already competitive AFC West division. Travis Kelce, a 10-time Pro Bowler and 7-time All-Pro, has cemented his place as one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history. With over 10,000 career receiving yards and 4 Super Bowl appearances to his name, Kelce has redefined what it means to be a dominant force in the passing game. His legacy with the Chiefs is unmatched, but his potential departure has left fans and analysts questioning his future. The Raiders, looking to bolster their roster and add a proven winner to their ranks, see Kelce as a game-changing acquisition. With their eyes set on competing at the highest level, the prospect of pairing Kelce with their offensive weapons could give them the edge they've been seeking. Despite Kelce's long-standing ties to the Chiefs, this potential move to Las Vegas has sent shockwaves throughout the NFL, leaving fans on the edge of their seats. Kelce's skill set extends far beyond his on-field achievements. His off-field presence, including his hit podcast and high-profile relationship with Taylor Swift, has turned him into a cultural icon. The Raiders are not only looking to add a player of Kelce's caliber, but also to capitalize on his massive popularity, which could bring increased attention and marketability to the franchise. The combination of athleticism and star power would make him an instant centerpiece for the Raiders brand. As Kelce weighs his future after the 2025 season, the Raiders' pursuit of the star tight end represents more than just a football transaction. It's a statement of intent. Whether or not Kelce makes the move to Las Vegas will be a defining moment in both his career and the future of the Raiders. For now, the NFL world watches closely, eager to see how this drama unfolds. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.